Hey Google, streaming time.
Wow, you have such a big dick.
What's going on, guys? Quin69 here, coming at you with a little bit of a weird video. Today, I intend on showing you my entire computer setup because a lot of people have been asking, and I've been saying I'm going to do it for the longest time, but we're finally going to do it. Because believe it or not, this really weird kind of unorthodox setup that I've got going on attracts a lot of questions. And just on top of that, the way I have my computer set up, and I think just in general, my whole setup is kind of unique. I haven't seen anything like it on all of Twitch. So let's get into it. This might be a little bit scuffed, but I'm just going to use my camera, and I'll just point it at things, and then I'm going to talk into the microphone, and hopefully you should be able to hear what I'm saying. So, Twitch chat, do you read me? I guess we'll start off right here. Okay, so this is the setup. I guess I'll just kind of like point at things and tell you what they are. The desk. It's a 2x2 meter corner desk because I really like corner desks. I just like spreading my arms out. You notice that I actually have my stuff set up in the center here, and I just play with my arms completely spread. I don't like being on like a flat area, so I think that's the alpha play, honestly. It's a standing desk, so you just press this button here, and the whole thing lifts up. I spent ages doing cable management and basically setting up my monitors, setting up my light box, setting up everything so that it just rises with the disc. You can see it's like on like this little tray there. Yeah, I know. Maybe it's not the prettiest, but honestly, the cable management system that I've got going on here, you know, it gets the job done. You can't see any of that anyway when you're like this. I probably just shouldn't have shown you that. But you know what? This is a no bullshit review, okay? This is the no bullshit. Well, I'm just going to point at stuff and tell you what it is. This chair, this is the chair that I use when I'm sitting down. It's the most stereotypical racer boy chair you can get. It's a DX Racer. You can see there I bought it like literally years ago. It's still going strong, mate. Still going strong. I had to duct tape up the side a little bit. You know, the little red bits on the bottom have all fallen off. But you know what? It's still going hard, and I wouldn't say it was a bad chair. It's actually a pretty good chair. In terms of my audio setup, this right here, this is the microphone I use. This is a Shure SM7B microphone. You have to have a whole mixer set up. I will show you that setup later on. It's a lot of effort to set up, but if you can set it up, honestly, this is probably the best sounding microphone that I've ever had. Yeah, it makes my voice sound just less ratty in comparison to like what you're hearing me on now. The headphones that I'm using, this is the Sennheiser Massdrop HD6XX. I've just swapped these recently. They're open air and they sound really different to what I'm used to. But you know, they're really comfy and they do the job. In terms of my peripherals, let's just rip the band-aid off. Okay, guys? Yeah, I play on this. I play on a flippin' gamepad. Okay, guys? Don't call me a noob. They're just very ergonomic. This one here is the Razer Tartarus. Yeah, it's got a nice little, I don't know what you want to call it, like fake leather pad. This one hasn't leaked any goo. The Allweaver that I had before this literally leaked goo, but I still loved it. Regardless, that's the gamepad that I play on. Keyboard, this is a Logitech G910, okay? It's really colorful. I literally just type to people on this. I don't use it to game or anything. So it's a little bit dirty, but you know, who cares? I don't game on it, guys. This thing here is way cleaner. The thing in the middle there, that is a Stream Deck. Honestly, if you are streaming or you're considering streaming, and yeah, this is a really, really good bit of kit right here, boys. Pretty much it's a customizable pad of keys. that directly interfaces with OBS, which is the recording software. It allows you to set up like a bunch of different keybinds. Pretty much, I use it mainly for scene swapping, and I previously used macro keys. But one of the things you don't realize with macro keys is when you press buttons, you have to have them set up as a keybind, right? Like Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3. You press that, it messes with your game. You press that when a browser window messes with the browser window. You press this, it just tells OBS what to do. I don't know how the hell it works. It just works. All right, boys? Really good piece of kit. I am then using a Logitech G600 mouse. I think this is actually... I literally think you can't buy these anymore. But yeah, I'm pretty brutal. You can obviously see I got massive, thick hands. And I just break mice like crazy. I just bought a few of these. I usually go through like 1 or 2 a year. I used to go for a Razer Naga about a month. Pretty much I need to use any mouse that has a bunch of keybinds because I love to have lots of keybinds where my thumb is. That's just like you know, you combine that amount of keybinds with this gamepad here, which I have like 3 modifiers on it. It's a really, really good combo. In terms of my monitors, you can obviously see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monitors. The one in the middle is a 144 hertz ViewSonic 1 millisecond reply time. I don't know the exact model. I bought it ages ago. But it's 144 hertz. Once you go 144 hertz, boys, you never go back. They're all 1080p as well. I don't use anything like 4K. 4K gaming is just stupid. It's just retarded. I wouldn't suggest anyone to do it. I've tried. Like, what's the point? Like, if you're sacrificing your refresh rate for resolution, you're cooked. Unless you're a graphic designer or you're actually using it to like draw stuff. Yeah, if you're a gamer, you just want a high refresh rate. I'm actually considering going to a 240 hertz at some point. But yeah, I pretty much have my game here. This is my gaming computer. You can't tell because my computer's not even in this room. But this is the gaming monitor. This is a separate computer. This is the Twitch chat monitor. That's the OBS monitor. This is where I have all my like statistics and shit. And this is actually where I have my VR stuff set up. Speaking of VR, yeah, I got my VR set up down here. This is this right here. This is a Vive Pro with a wireless connector. I am a massive VR nerd. That's what I have set up. I've just got like the wireless thingy attached to a light right here. And this is a light that I use to just light the entire green room. You can see here, in terms of cameras, I have a GoPro with a Vive controller mounted to the top. And the way that this GoPro is working, it's connecting back to my computer using this thing called a Cam Link. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I got one right here, boys. And pretty much what it allows you to do is you just plug this USB port into your computer, and then you plug the HDMI of the GoPro back into there, and then you just have like a glorified webcam. And this is what I use to basically make my VR videos. This captures the VR stuff. I have another GoPro over here. I don't know if you can guess, I'm a fan of GoPros. This one right here, this is like the GoPro 7 or something, and it's the exact same thing. It's a GoPro plugged into a Cam Link, which I then use as a webcam. The like dodgy little like beads that it's kind of standing on, that's a Jolby stand. Just lets you have like a really, really custom angle so you can move the GoPro around however you want it and get it to like the perfect position. In terms of lighting, I need to actually upgrade this. This is a new product out. Oh man, the Elgato Key Light. I really want it. But I'm just using a scuffed setup. It's literally just a light box. And then what I've got inside the light box is I have one in my pocket. This is it right here. It's a Philips Hue smart bulb. And pretty much I just have 4 of those bad boys chucked in that. And I can just set the light and the temperature, and I just use that to make my, I just look less shitty with that light on, really. I guess that's the best way to describe it. And then over here, I've got these bad boys. This is like the generic YouTuber thing that everyone has. I actually got them before they were cool, let me tell you that now. I got these way before PewDiePie had them. Alright, these are the Nano Leafs. And actually, I was using them as like a background kind of decoration type thing. But obviously I moved my setup, and I ended up just using them. I just turn them on whenever I start up the stream, and I've got the color set at like daylight, and they actually just work as really, really good lights. Believe it or not. that you can use to illuminate your face. And I don't know if you guys can tell, at the back, I also have a Philips Hue light strip, which I can customize and make it like purple or pink or whatever you want, basically. I just use that as like a backlight when I'm not streaming, and it just kind of like lights up the area without having to have the big lights on. And then obviously, I don't know if you guys saw this thing, and you're wondering what the hell this is. This is an actual floodlight that like builders use. And I had the floodlight set up whenever I do VR. I basically have it set up to a smart switch, which I can then turn on and use it to illuminate the entire green room behind me, which is, yeah. Well, I can show you guys my green room. And then I've got a couple more lights here, which is just like, it's more Philips Hues, just on generic light stands. This right here, this monstrosity, it looks, yeah, it's pretty ghetto. It's do it yourself. What I did is I got 2 of these like torsion poles, and then I attached some gigantic bit of green screen fabric, and I just torsion poled this, and then clipped the green screen wall thing over there, and I've got another torsion pole / curtain rail up the top there, same exact thing, torsion pole, curtain rail, and I kind of set up this green room, which if you look at it from afar, it looks really scuffed. But believe it or not, this gives you really good footage, like Q footage. Yeah, so it looks good. It just, in real life, it looks kind of scuffed. Obviously, behind the torsion poles and the whole setup there, I have, this is basically acoustic foam, which is just for acoustic treatment. The room was just very echoey when I first got in here, so I just covered the entire wall and acoustic foam, and then I just like the really kind of flat surfaces that were kind of, you see here, just more acoustic foam, which just takes out the room noise. And also up there, one of my favorite things I would suggest getting if you're looking to do gaming and full-time streaming, a flippin' air conditioner, mate. That bad boy right there, it carries. Let me tell you now. I guess I'll just show you guys the computers now. We'll just take you guys over to the computer setup, and yeah, let me show you how the computers are set up. So that's a cat. That is a cat. But believe it or not, actually, this is the computer setup. So obviously in the room you couldn't see any computers or anything, right? It's because all the cords coming out of the actual wall, like literally out of the wall, and into this cabinet right here, which is just a gigantic, big-ass server cabinet. Can't really go into it too much, because it's kind of confusing. But this is the mixer that mixes all the audio. This is the mix. Basically, everything kind of plugs into this big-ass mixer here, and then it gets sent out to this mixer. That does some sort of audio treatment. I will link everything in the description, so if you want to see how it works, maybe I'll do a little diagram for you guys. Basically, that's the audio stuff. This is where all the magic happens. I then have the 2 computers, not one, but 2 computers. Don't know if you can really see it very well, but you know, I have one computer that basically plays games exclusively, and then in the back of the computer, oh god, this is going to be bad. You guys are going to really hate me for this. So, in the back of the computer, I have a Elgato capture card. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's an Elgato capture card, which allows me to basically broadcast the signal from the gaming computer to the streaming computer, so I get absolutely no lag in my games. And then I can just basically send the signal over to the other computer, which encodes everything, and then sends it to Twitch, which is how you get like really, really, really crisp gameplay with no impact on performance. This is, believe it or not, the most expensive thing. This is my Avalon 737 SP. This is just a gigantic preamp / compressor for my microphone. It just makes the microphone sound better. I would not suggest anyone to buy this. I mean, I paid like $5,000 for it, and it maybe gave me like an extra 5% audio quality. I don't know if I can really quantify it in percentage, whatever. It's a very minor gain in terms of audio, and yeah, like yeah, $5,000 by the way. And then I've got a couple UPSs down the bottom, which is set up so when the power goes out, they actually keep my computers alive. And then I also, up here, this right here is the network cabinet. This is where I have all the network for my house. I have another UPS, which plugs into the gateway and plugs into the switch, which allows me to pretty much keep streaming whenever the power goes out for at least an extra 30 minutes. Which is nice if you're playing like Hardcore Diablo 3 or something, because you don't lose your character due to a power outage, which is, it's pretty try-hard, but you know, it gets the job done. I guess I'll show you the computer specs now. So let's go back to my room and I'll show you what's in my computers. Okay, so let's do the cuck computer first. This one here is the streaming PC. This is the one which has the capture cards in it. So I've got a couple Elgato capture cards in this bad boy. I've got the cam links plugged into this. And pretty much what's happening is all the signals, all the video signals, so all my games and everything are all getting sent to this computer. This computer here just runs OBS and it just encodes everything. So it just sits here encoding all day. It gets, honestly, the CPU, the poor thing, it's getting worked right now to actually record this video. It just gets wrecked all the time. I did have an AMD. It's worth noting, I'm using an i7 770K right now. I did previously have an AMD processor. It actually did outperform the i7, believe it or not. But I was getting random crashes that we couldn't figure out why, and I've switched over to the Intel, and it's just fixed everything. So don't ask me why, but I don't know. I'm using an Intel, and it's working pretty well. I've got RAM. I've got a motherboard. I don't know if this means anything to you guys. It's got a 1080 Ti in it. This is the old computer I used to game on, so it's got a Ti in it. Does the job. And I've got a solid-state hard drive. That's pretty much it. In terms of gaming PC, so this is my brand new gaming computer. This one's got an i9 in it. It says 3.6 gigahertz, but I mean it runs like way higher. So I don't know how the hell this works, but it just spurgs out and just changes up and down. Don't ask me how it works. It's an Intel i9-9900C. Whatever, dude. The computer nerds will know what it is. It's got 64 gigabytes of the RAMs. 32 megahertz. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Sweet as. We got a 2080 Ti plugged into this bad boy. Everyone was calling me a blower noob because it's not water cooled. It's just normally cooled. The processor is water cooled, so you can see there it's running really, really, really low. I mean, this is crazy how low this is. 29 degrees Celsius. That's insane. Then I've got two terabyte solid state hard drives, and this is the computer that runs the games. Let me tell you now, it runs Path of Exile at a ridiculously fast rate. Let me just go into the game and show you right now. I'm playing on absolute max graphics. I don't know if you know, I mean, the game graphically doesn't look that amazing, but you can see here, I've got it actually locked on frame lock right now, so disable that. If I go into graphics, you can see here. These are my graphics settings, just so you know I'm not debating you guys. It runs at a really, really high FPS, really consistently, and it just looks the best that I've ever seen. But yeah, that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the scuffed gaming tour. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up at my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Quin69, and I'll answer anything I possibly can. Peace.